Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about angles in circles, and specifically angles that have their vertex outside the circle. And I've been calling those outies because, like I just said, their vertex is outside the circle. Alright, and the way we learn to do that in our notes is we're going to say that that angle is equal to half of the difference of the arcs that it creates. So we're going to be finding the two arcs that are created by that angle. I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second, but we're going to find those two arcs. We're going to take the difference and then we're going to divide it by 2. So that's what we're going to do. Let's start with example 1. Let's find those two arcs that are created by the angle. So here's my angle. Alright, so you can see that it cut that circle into some pieces. And the pieces that are inside that angle, the arcs that I really care about, would be this 52-degree arc and this 130-degree arc. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the two arcs created by that angle. I don't really care about this arc and I don't really care about that arc. I care about the arcs that are formed by that angle. So that's a 130-degree arc and a 52-degree arc. So to find my angle, it's going to be equal to the big arc minus the little arc divided by 2. Well, my angle is unknown. So my angle is x. I don't know it. And my big arc is 130 degrees. And my little arc is 52 degrees. And I'm going to divide those by 2. So I'm going to go to my handy dandy calculator and I'm going to say 130 minus 52 equals 78. So I'll do 78 divided by 2. And I think that's 39, but math is hard, and it is 39. So that is a 39-degree angle right there. That outie angle with the question mark is 39 degrees. Cool. So that's how we do all these problems. In that problem, we were looking for an angle. Later, it's going to change gears, and we'll be looking for some of the arcs. But number 2 is very similar to number 1. We have a missing angle, and I know that the angle is equal to the big arc minus the little arc over 2. So my angle is question mark. I can make it an x if I want. My angle is unknown, and the arcs created by that angle. Well, here's my angle. I'll make it blue so you can really see it. And you can see that one of the arcs that's formed is that arc SA, which is 154 degrees. The other arc that's formed was this guy, DB, and he was 64 degrees. So 154 minus 64 over 2. So I'll go to my handy dandy calculator. 154 minus 64 is 90. 90 over 2 is 45. So that outie angle must be 45 degrees. Alright, example 3 is more of the same. But in this one, it's a little different. In this one, we have 2 tangent lines, right? So, same rule, the angle is equal to the big arc minus the little arc divided by 2. Well, I know that this arc is 135 degrees. Question is, do you find people know how many degrees this arc is? If you look, it completes the rest of the circle, and I know that a full circle is 360 degrees. So what I could do to find this missing arc over here, because it's the rest of the circle, I could do 360 minus 135. And 360 minus 135 is 225 degrees. So this arc over here is 225 degrees. So I don't know my angle, it's unknown. I know that my big arc is 225 and my little arc is 135, and divided by 2. So 225 minus 135 is 90, and 90 divided by 2 is 45 degrees. So another 45-degree angle. Cool, with number 4, stuff changes a little bit, just a little bit. In number 4, I'm still using the same rule because it's an outie. The angle is equal to the big arc minus the little arc over 2. But the difference is, that big arc is the piece that I'm missing. That's the unknown. So when I go to fill in my blanks, I know that my angle is 35 degrees. I don't know my big arc, and I know that my little arc is 65 degrees. So this is going to be an example where I've got to use a little bit of algebra. I set it up the same way, but this time what I don't know was the arc. So let's use a little bit of algebra. To undo divided by 2, I'm going to multiply by 2. That gives me 2 times 35 is 70. And those 2's canceled out. And then lastly, I need to add 65 to both sides. And 70 plus 65 is 135. So this arc must be 135 degrees. Cool. So that's what we're going to do, and I've got 2 more examples of more of the same stuff. This is another one where I don't know the arc. So what I'm going to have to do here is set it up just like we did before. The angle equals big arc minus little arc divided by 2. The angle we know is 45 degrees. The big arc we know is 172, but the little arc is what I don't know, so I can call it x. So again, we'll be using algebra. I can undo the divided by 2 by multiplying by 2. So 90 equals, those cancel out, 172 minus x. And I can subtract 172 on both sides. And I get negative 82 equals negative x. So if a negative 82 equals negative x, then a positive 82 is going to equal positive x. So x equals 82 degrees. So same situation, just missing a different piece, had to do some algebra. Alright guys, and the last example is going to be the most fun and the most challenging. So in this one, it's again 2 tangent lines, an outie angle, and we do know the angle this time. But not only am I missing this piece, I'll call it x, I'm also missing the rest of the circle. So when I say the rest of the circle, I can find that rest of the circle by doing 360 minus the piece I already know, so 360 minus x. So this one's going to be a little more challenging, but I'm going to set it up the same way I usually do, and then I'm going to show you a shortcut. Alright, so I know that the angle is equal to big arc minus little arc over 2. That's how all these outies work. And in this case, I know that the angle is 50 degrees, so I'll put a 50 in for the angle. And I know that the big arc is 360 minus x. And I know that the little arc is x, and it's all divided by 2. So I could set it up like that. And if you look at the top piece, I've got some like terms that I can combine. So I'm going to call this 50 equals 360 minus x minus another x. So this could be simplified to be minus 2x's divided by 2. Now I'm going to use my algebra. I'm going to say multiply by 2 on both sides. That's how I did the last problem. So 100 equals 360 minus 2x. Okay, now I'll keep algebraing, and I will subtract 360 on both sides. And when I do that, I get a negative 260 equals negative 2x, and let's divide both sides by negative 2. Algebra. So x equals, and negative 260 divided by negative 2 is a positive 130. So that x equals a positive 130 degrees. Woohoo! We figured it out. And if that's 130 degrees, then the rest of the circle, aka this arc right here, must be 360 minus 130, which I think is 230. All right. Well, that was the most fun and the most challenging, and there is a shortcut. If you want the shortcut, it can be found by doing the angle is equal to, and if I simplified this piece right here, 360 minus 2x divided by 2, it's 180 minus x. So that shortcut always works when you have two tangents like that. All right. Well, I hope that leads to everybody getting 100% on their assignment. I think it's only 6 questions, so do a good job.